Last week I got to preach, and the message was on the answer to the problem of pain. And in doing research on that, and just in living the life I live and have lived, I spent some time thinking about that issue of evil and of pain and of suffering. And I really like that we started the worship off today with a song about the desire and the need for a hero, and then ended it with just wanting to be in his presence. Because anytime we stop long enough to get halfway honest with ourselves, we know we're not quite enough. We can excuse and justify and mention all the extenuating circumstances. Well, if you had only known what I had been through, you would understand why I did what I did, why I am how I am, and you would endorse it. But in the stillness, when things get quiet, we know that doesn't work. And so we have a tendency as human beings to create a God in one of three images. Either a harsh, cruel, get-you God, because obviously there's so much evil and suffering he must not care. He must really kind of hate us. He's the little boy with the magnifying glass and the sunlight and the ants, just watching us squirm, making an impossible standard so that he can smash us when we fall short. Or we create this all-accepting, loving God that just understands, and it's okay no matter what. There are no boundaries. There are no consequences because it's all okay. Ultimate mercy, no righteousness. And really, if we stop to think about that one for any length of time, we know it's baloney, because even a halfway decent parent knows that you have to have some boundaries or your kid's going to die. You know, at some point, the child needs to know you can't play in the street. That it's not a good idea to do this or that if you want life. Or we just go with the third, the non-existent God. There is no God. But truth is both stranger and greater than fiction. Obviously, there are things that we have done and have been done to us that cause destruction instead of life. And some cause more destruction than others. But we have a God who cares. And we have a God who did something about it. Not one that wants to get you because you didn't measure up. And not one that wants to just let everything slide because you've had it so hard just being born. Because that can pretty much be said of all of us. And definitely one that does exist and is real. And I keep coming back to this image that I got a while back of a group of people on top of a 100-story building. And they're all up there on the roof because the building's on fire. There's nothing they can do. They can't go down any lower. The flames have already crept up, and they're starting to come onto the roof. There's two choices: get off the roof or burn to death. Because a lot of people would rather fall to their death than burn to death, people jump and do other things, but there's no way off the roof, no safe way off the roof. And 50 feet away, there's another building with another rooftop. If we could just get over there, we'd be okay. There's life over there, a way of escape. But there's no bridge, there's no hang gliders, there's no anything up there. It's just that great distance. From here to there. From sure death to life and escape. And when you picture it like that, it's easy to see that it doesn't matter if you're a cripple in a wheelchair just rolling off the edge, or if you're running to get a jump and somebody trips you or pushes you, or somebody's holding you so that you can't get full speed and jump far enough, or if you are the best, fastest, greatest in the world, you're in trouble. The world record holder for long jump is just over 29 feet. He could make it look really good, but he's still going to fall 100 stories. It doesn't matter if you don't try. Doesn't matter if you try your best. Doesn't matter if somebody hinders you or if you hinder somebody else. Everybody who goes off of that roof is going to fall 100 stories. 1 inch short or 49 feet short, the result is the same, even though the jump is different. And that gets you, God, that everybody thinks is out to get them. And see, he sent a hero, his son, to die laying out a bridge from the roof that's on fire to the roof that brings life. That's love. That's awesome love. Gave his son to make that bridge. Now there's a way across. Well, wait a minute. Shouldn't we be able to just go anyway, whatever? I don't really like that bridge. I want to fly. Well, fly then. But you're going to fall because we don't fly. A loving God is not responsible to make 100 ways off the roof. He made one that will work for anybody and everybody that wants it. But even further than that, the God who loves us enough, knowing that we could never make that jump, knowing that some of us would just stand on the rooftop while we burn and curse him rather than try to make the jump, gave his son to make the bridge. That shows he wants us on the other side. He wants us to have life. And a God who would make the bridge and has the power to do that gives us the grace and the power to conquer our fears of height. You're on a bridge that's 100 stories high. To combat the winds that are up that high that threaten to blow you off. To give you, as a cripple, the strength to go across it and the way. He's not just going to let you, it's not a teaser. Okay, it's not get you out on the bridge and let you go. He made the bridge to get you to the other side. And if you will draw near to the bridge, he'll get you to the other side. No matter who tries to hold you back, no matter who tried to trip you, hamstring you, stop you, no matter who you've done that to. He can get us all across. He doesn't leave us to wander through and try to figure it out. We just have to draw near to Jesus. Period. No matter what we've done, no matter what's been done to us, no matter where we've been, what we did right, what we did wrong, what we failed to do right, doesn't matter. Because it was never about us being able to jump the gap. Because the best of the best of the best of us can barely make it halfway. So whether you think you're one of the best, or whether you think you're the cripple who just has to roll off the edge because you can't even jump, Jesus is your answer. He's the bridge. And if you've gotten on the bridge, He's not going to let you off. And He's going to take you to the other side, because it's like one of those airport deals. You're not walking, the belt's moving. Once you step on the bridge, it's... Now, you're still there. You still got to travel the distance. But you're not the one doing the work. It's not on you. And it doesn't, in a sense, matter what's been done to you. Because part of the journey across is healing and restoration. So that when you get to the other side, you will find that you are whole and complete. And like all inspiring stories, the more damage that has been done, the greater the glory. It's not an inspiring story that somebody was born and never had anything bad happen to them and never had anything hard and coasted through life. That doesn't inspire us. We just actually have a tendency to hate that person. But the person who's lost everything and comes back, the person who's faced defeat and done this, you know how inspiring stories work. I was watching football yesterday. They're talking about a college kid who had surgery 3 weeks ago on his ankle, and he's out there playing. How tough he is, how much desire he had, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking Anyway, inspiring stories take hardship. The more scars you have, the more your life shows. But at the end, none of us will have any scars. At the end, we will be a perfect and unique reflection of God's love and glory. And that's awesome. So wherever you're at today, you can get on the bridge if you haven't started. And if you're on the bridge, He's not going to let you off of it, so don't lose hope. Trust in the God who loved you enough to make a bridge is going to love you enough to heal you and strengthen you and give you the grace to stay on the bridge. All because of what Jesus did on that cross.